In this short video, we are going to have a sprite from the Snap environment dance around on the stage. You will first need to go to a browser. Snap works best in Chrome. You'll go to snap.berkeley.edu, and when the page loads, you'll click Run Snap Now, and a new untitled environment will display for you. I already have one created so that I can simply explain to you what I did. I'm going to minimize my stage using the handles here. First, let me explain where I got my stage. I can click on the stage down in the corral and go to backgrounds, and notice I already have a background here, but yours will be empty. You notice here it says you can import a picture from another web page or from a file on your computer. You can start with a blank, but you can then go up to the File menu and then go down to Import if you would like to import it from your computer. Otherwise, you can go to Backgrounds and then select one of the backgrounds. You can double click or select and hit Import, and it will show up. You can do the same with your sprite. Once you start, you will have the turtle sprite. All you'll need to do, again, is select the sprite, go down to Import, go to the place that you have an image saved on your computer, or you can go to Costumes, and it will open up the Costumes window. A sprite can have more than one costume, so you can select more than one. There are many different costumes that you are provided initially, but it does not limit you or the student. Again, you can go in and import anything that you would like. Once I have either double clicked or selected and then imported, that will give me the way my two sprites will look. I'm going to move back into the script window. When I selected that sprite, it was too large for what the stage would look like. So I wanted to reduce the size. Anytime you want to do anything with looks, you're going to go to the looks palette. And so from there, I went in and I selected the set size and I reduced the size. I could also have done a change size by. Anytime you see the name of something like the variable size or costume number, you can select this if you want to see that variable's value. So if I wanted to see the size, I could actually display it. Now, right now I have the sprite hidden using the hide button. And as soon as I click my green flag, I want it to show. So I've got show in, and I just drug it over and snapped it in. My when flag clicked is in the control palette. The control palette's going to have everything to start your app running, as well as things like looping and conditionals, as well as call statements and others that you may or may not use, but you will definitely use these, especially when the green flag is clicked. So when it's clicked, I'm going to have my sprite show up, and then I want the sprite to go to this specific location. 0, 0 is in the middle of the stage, and then point in direction 90 degrees simply tells the sprite that, regardless of where it ended up last time, I always want it to start facing the same direction. Anytime you have questions, you can always right click and get help, and it will show. So if I have the sprite pointing in 90 degrees, then notice that that is going to be facing to the right. So again, anytime you have questions about any block, you can right click and go to help. Broadcast is another one of those blocks that's like passing a token. So I'm going to broadcast play music, and anything that has this when I receive play music, I have this one in the same sprite, but it could also be in a different sprite. Then this is going to execute. So I've got forever play sound chord. Now you will not have anything, it'll just be blank when you initially start up. So you want to get some sounds. Again, you're going to click on the sounds tab, just like you did for the costumes. Go down to sounds, And you can import any of these sounds that come with Snap. You can also import and drill down to wherever you have a file saved on your computer, and you can import that. So, if you wanted to import a piece of music, a MIDI, or whatever, you can import that here. So then once you import it, it shows up in your list, and you would go to play and then choose whatever. And I imported the chord. I want things to happen repeatedly. So I'm going to have these repeat 10 times. So each of these two sets of actions and these two sets of actions are going to happen 10 times. So it's going to first go to the first repeat, and it says go to the next costume. That's something that changes the look of it. So I've got here switch to costume or next costume. So if I had multiple costumes, I could do a switch to costume. I could literally go from, a dog to a cat to a bird if I wanted to switch costumes that way. But these I'm just going to have it go to next costumes. So it's going to flip back and forth between these two costumes. Going to switch to the costume, move to the left. Remember, 0, 0 is in the middle, so it's going to move to the left 50 steps, and then it's going to come back, switch costume again, and then move to the left again. Then it's going to change costume, move to the right, change costume, move to the right. And then it goes back to the outer loop, and it will repeat those inner steps 10 times. Let's see what this looks like. I'm going to make this larger for you, but not too large because I want you to see the steps. I have the visible stepping selected at the top. It slows it down a little bit, but it also lets you see the steps as it moves through. So you can see where the costume is changing and they're moving, and how it's continuing to play, and then how it's running through here, through this, then back up, and then running through it again. Notice this is never stopping. If I wanted to stop this at the end, I could have gone in and gotten my sound, and I could have a stop all sounds at the bottom. I'm going to stop it with the stop sign. But you could have a stop all sounds at the bottom so that when you run it again, once it finishes, it would stop all sounds. Okay, so you can make a lot of things happen. I would suggest that you play with this, play with looks and motion and sound. Those are primarily the blocks that we've used to make our Sprite dance around. Have fun with it.